Very much. Your category is politics, and the answer is 8%. What is the question?
How much of Abu Hamza will have to be removed so as they can get him through the Heathrow metal detector? What level of erection did I once try and have sex with?
Do you measure like on that scale, or is it just on terms of...
Image of you going out on the pole, checking your wallet before you go out, condom, protractor.
How are the government planning to catch middle-class tax avoiders?
With a butterfly net and the van from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It'll probably work better than the plan they have.
They're planning to catch them using lie detectors. Middle-class people taking lie detector tests. It's like an upmarket version of Jeremy Kyle. And I'd like to see that. Wouldn't you like to see that middle-class Jeremy Kyle? You know, my cleaner ran off to another family. My husband's using the wrong cutlery. You corked my Merlot!
The next topic is environment. Andy Parsons.
So, now, apparently, plastic bags are evil. Because apparently, they take 100 years to biodegrade. Now, that came as a bit of a shock to me, because often when you get a bag in a supermarket, they seem to biodegrade when you put anything heavy in them. That is why people double bag, isn't it? Because otherwise, it's like a crap magic trick, isn't it? They give you the bag, you put the bag on the counter, you put the stuff in the bag, you pull up the bag, and hey, presto, the stuff's still there on the bloody counter.
Well done, Andy Parsons.
People are saying, oh, well, it's stupid. You know, what's the point of any of our kids learning Arabic? But it could be quite useful, couldn't it? For instance, if you were sat on the tube and two people in front of you were speaking Arabic, it would make you a little more relaxed about what they had in their bag. Basically, these education proposals, you know, they've been upsetting teachers. And you don't want to upset a teacher, do you? Very easy to upset a teacher. All you've got to do to upset a teacher is go, oh, you've got long holidays. They don't like that, do they? And then, if you continue with that with, oh, and you finish at 3:30. Oh, they're livid, aren't they? Oh, I've got me marking.
And Frankie, the next topic is... it's terrorism. Andy's in like a shot.
Now, Tony Blair has once again tried to justify improving our nuclear weapons because he says one of the reasons is he's worried terrorists such as Osama bin Laden might get hold of them. Now, once again, I think this is scaremongering. We know Osama bin Laden hasn't got a nuclear weapon because we haven't seen it on his videos. We know he's got a rifle and a donkey. I don't think we've got to worry until he's ditched the rifle and we see his donkey strapped with a cruise missile.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Bad things to say at a job interview.
I'm really only here because I'm hoping to slip on a wet floor and then fall off a ladder.
Hey, I remember you from the dungeon. How you doing? It's me, Gimpy Terry.
I'm Gimpy Terry's mate.
He has been accused of verbally abusing a policeman at the gates to Downing Street who wouldn't let him through the main gates and forced him to go through the pedestrian gates. He swore at the policeman and apparently called him a pleb.
They may have changed the words he said, because the words they claim he says was, best you learn your effing place, you don't run this effing government, you're effing plebs. Right. He said he didn't say those words. Now, I can't read out what words he said, because he hasn't told us, so those are the only ones I can read out.
These are the people, though, who are charged with protecting him. You don't want to upset them.
No.
Oh, yes, I didn't catch Mr. Mitchell as he fell from the second floor of the building, because I didn't think he'd want me to touch him, given that I'm a pleb and everything. But as we took his body out of Downing Street, we took him through the main gate. It's what he would have wanted.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown with his immediate predecessor, Tony Blair. But what does BMCB stand for?
Is it Brown's Mental Complete Breakdown?
Or is it just Britain's Mr. Charisma Bypass?
Is it Blundering Morons Crucifixion Begins?
Well, is it just bollocks, my career's buggered?
Sometimes that's all satire needs to be.
I'll call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on Comic Relief.
And we'd just like to thank the donation of 160,000 turkeys from a Mr. B. Matthews.
The next topic is the worst thing your new neighbour could say.
What day do the bins go out round here? My wife's body's starting to stink.
I hope my turkeys won't be keeping you awake. So, it was the Olympic parade last week. It was great seeing it live. Obviously, I had to keep a certain amount of a low profile in the crowd because I was throwing a sickie from work at the time. But it was great. 21 buses driving through London at a steady 2 miles an hour. So very like a normal day in London, really. There was an embarrassing moment, though, when one of the conductors rang the bell on the bus and then got the shit kicked out of him by the blind football team. And I realised, actually, that I could get into any sport during the Olympics. The only sport I couldn't actually get into, dressage. Watching a horse walk and then reverse. They call it horse ballet. I don't think anybody would go and see ballet if it was just some bloke walking a bit quicker, slowing down a bit, stopping, bowing, and then pissing off. And secondly, not many people go to ballet anyway because it's shit. Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Is it the number of tweets that David Cameron's received to his new Twitter account that include the word tosspot? Is it, in fact, what are the chances against getting a joke about Jim Fricks on the BBC?
Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19 if you're good enough. So you can see where this is coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. Yeah, she's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken. Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him, he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think it's kind of ironic that you'd ban smoking in pubs in London when it's kind of impossible to breathe outside a pub in London. Children are chasing buses down the street, like nipping at the tailpipe, hoping for chunks of charcoal fresh air, you know.
So says the man from LA.
After that, people drive cars, right? I'm guessing a car puts out more smoke than maybe a cigarette.
It does, but that doesn't mean,
You don't actually drive inside. You know, don't drink and drive, especially in the pub.
OK, so war on terror. Who wants to go first? Andy?
Yes, the war on terror. The Americans have said, you know, they're worried that Iraq is their new Vietnam. Let's hope not. Otherwise, we're in for some shit movies in about 10 years' time.
Good man, Andy. Well done. Andy Parsons there. Your category is sport. The answer is 1 billion.
Is it how many wives would Henry VIII have had if he'd been on Tinder?
I shall have her. And I shall have her. Am I even flicking the right way out? I shall have her. OK. Oh, thank you. OK.
Is it how many pounds in cash did the Queen hide under her bed when she'd seen that Jeremy Corbyn had been elected leader?
Her family security is at risk. Here's a picture of the new Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. So what's going on here?
Has he been sleeping in the bin on the right?
The idea it could be the oldest delivery boy in the world still hasn't figured out how to hold a pizza correctly.
Is he such a dedicated socialist that he refuses to look to the right, even though that's the direction he is in fact looking?
My topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So, we've had the Lib Dems announce their immigration plan. What they'd like to do is they'd like to put immigrants into places in Britain which don't, at the moment, have many immigrants. Quite what those parts of Britain will feel about that policy. I grew up for quite a long time in Cornwall, and there they regarded anybody who came from Devon as an immigrant. We had one bloke on our street who was known as the Traveller because he'd once been by train up to London. And we have a new president for Europe, a man by the name of Herman Van Rompuy. Now, the Sun can't wait to get a headline going on this one. Rumpy Pumpy, Rumpy Numpty, Humpty Rumpy. They'll go for gold if he gets involved in an affair with a one-legged ugly dwarf. Rumpy Pumpy from Rumpy Numpty with Frumpy Stumpy Grumpy.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Your category is world news. Your answer is 1/5. What's the question?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, yes?
OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know. I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
The Olympics. Who wants to come in that? Andy Parsons.
Now, I don't know how you got on with getting tickets for the Olympics. There are still tickets for the Greco-Roman wrestling. Yeah, whoopee-doo. There aren't so many Romans in Britain anymore, are there? And those Greeks can't afford the tickets. And we will have forever our first GB football team. Yeah, it'll be the first time that Ryan Giggs, Ashley Cole and John Terry have got together since the last Miss World contest. But if you haven't got any tickets, go and see the Olympic road race cycling, right? It's free, yeah? But it's not the same as proper road cycling. Never in the Olympics do you see somebody having to go off into a ditch because there's a lorry turning left. Never do you see somebody go over the handlebars because some idiot in his car has opened the door without looking in his side mirror. Never do you see somebody fall off their bike because a car has screamed past and somebody has whined down the window and shouted, "Boo!" Although that may happen when the Olympics come to Hackney in 2012.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. What did David Cameron do recently that no other serving British Prime Minister has ever done?
Samantha Cameron.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But he also went on Letterman in the States, didn't he?
He came out to loads of dry ice and they said it represented a London fog when we haven't had a London fog for over 100 years. That's the stereotype image that those Americans believe. What? The fat, dumb redneck. The closest we've currently got to a London fog is Boris Johnson at the moment. Either that or Amy Childs from The Only Way Is Essex.
What Boris Johnson did say was that he got it wrong deliberately because he didn't want to seem like he had Latin coming out of every orifice. Now, that sounds creepy, doesn't it?
The thing about Boris Johnson, though, isn't it, is everybody thinks he's quintessentially English, but in fact he was born in America, named after a Russian, and looks like a Swedish person who's eaten another Swedish person.
And it's the economy. Any Parsons?
I suppose we should be grateful we're not in Greece. Things very bad there. There's rioting. Things so bad, the austerity measures, that they can't even afford to put petrol in their milk bottles to chuck them. Things are so bad they're having to put milk in their milk bottles. That's how bad things are. Oi, take that. Yeah. In 2 hours, your clothes are going to smell really bad. The European Central Bank, right, they have said that when it comes to Greece, they think it may be a bit like the Ebola virus, right? And they said we may have to cut off our leg to survive. Now, they may know a bit about finance. They know very little about the Ebola virus. It affects your entire body. You cut your leg off, you've still got the Ebola virus. You've just got one leg bloody less.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Lines you wouldn't hear in a war film.
We've managed to crack the Germans' code. Turns out they were sending messages in German.
I'm afraid we can't afford goggles. So what we're going to have to do, we're all going to have to go like this.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
And it's gold for Ireland! And it...
Go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's fuck all for Ireland!
No, I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right? Discarded titles for the next Harry Potter book.
Harry Potter and the Mudblood Prince in a Nazi uniform. Harry Potter and the two other kids who can't act.
The first topic is global warming. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Sheryl Crow, she's gone into the debate. She wants us to save natural resources by apparently using only one sheet of toilet paper per visit. Now, let's face it, sometimes that's just not feasible, is it? But ever since I found that out, part of me's there thinking each time I use more than one sheet, I've let Sheryl Crow down. Then part of me's thinking, oh, I'd never want to go out with Sheryl Crow. She's a toilet paper Nazi. And half the time, she's probably got a dirty arse.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Here's a picture of former Prime Minister Tony Blair recently, but what does BGBC stand for?
Is it in fact Blair's guilt-free, blood-stained conscience?
That was a lovely laugh.
Is it in fact everything the British Army didn't have when we went to war? Bullets, guns, bombs, choppers. I would like to apologise for the rocking of this boat, but we are currently being humped by a whale. There appears to have been an incident in the swimming pool. If a Mr. Barrymore could contact the captain... He actually has ice baths in a wheelie bin. And I mean, that can't be enjoyable, can it? Particularly if he does it on a Tuesday and gets carried away by the cancer.
What a rugby commentator would never say.
Oh, and he skipped through the defence, and that's lucky, because if these South Sea Islanders catch you, they eat you.
And it's the coin toss, and Johnny Wilkinson has sprained his thumb. And here comes...
Hugh Dennis.
It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely film trailers.
A man who only wants one thing. Strepsils.
In his toughest assignment yet, Peter Parker has to pick a peck of pickled peppercorn.
Drama, intrigue, romance, gardening, spoons, all these and other words in Dictionary the movie.
All your favourite administrators are back in Human Resources 2. This time it's personnel.
When a hairpiece gets possessed by the devil, there'll be hell to pay.
He loves sex, but he has no arms. Which position will he choose? Missionary impossible.
If you see one film this year, then you're probably a new parent.
It was a love story that crossed the species barrier. He was a man, she was a cow. Coming soon, Beef Encounter.
Coming soon, a 3D film where you don't get bored halfway through and lift up the glasses just to see what the screen looks like without it.
Every Year I Love You More, starring Michael Jackson and Benjamin Button.
Coming soon, a story of premature ejaculation.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. Brilliant, The Times. 5 stars, The Guardian. The beds weren't made. TripAdvisor.
Part man, part machine, part bird, part drum. It's Robo Bongo Cuckoo Cop. Thank you very much.
A group of Greeks try to get away with their money. Chicken Run.
My Dad Pictures presents. Your man, I know him from something. Anyway, him and a woman. I think she was in here. Maybe it was house. She was definitely a doctor. Join forces to fight. I know him. He's gone awful old looking, hasn't he?
It's the bromance of the year. Ed and David Miliband star in What the Fuck Was the Point of That Then?
Well, that really was a spectacular day of weightlifting, but before we go, we've got time to just look over some of the most spectacular anal prolapses we've seen today.
Is it a brutal moment of self-realisation? Is this the exact moment when he suddenly thinks, am I a dick?
I'm not being fair. I don't really know who he is.
First subject is transport. Who wants to come in on that? Miles.
Yes, transport, public transport. Why is public transport so horrendous? Well, the clue is in the question, isn't it? It's the public. You're horrific. I don't take public transport terribly often, but sometimes I do it for a dare. Some friends and I once had a competition to see who could stay for the longest on a night bus without vomiting. Although, once I got on the bus, it was quite clear that all the other passengers were involved in a similar competition. None of them were doing terribly well. My seat had a sign next to it saying, "This seat is particularly appreciated by the elderly and infirm." Yeah, certainly smelt like it. Now, what a journey. Every time somebody pressed the stop button, it pinged. The oik sitting next to me stood up because he thought his McCain's microwavable chips were ready. Brutal. Anyway, while I've been speaking, I imagine a lot of the ladies in here have been looking at me. Possibly, you know, you're thinking, is he or isn't he? Well, I've got to be honest with you, ladies. I am looking for a cleaner. Look at all these athletes in peak physical condition. If I could see just one of them naked, I would die happy.
The subject is clubbing. Who wants to talk about that? Miles.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can all tell I'm a bit of a clubber. Nothing I like more than getting down to the local hotspot and shaking the old batty and ting, a bit of shawaddy-waddy. Don't mind if I do. No, I have tried night clubbing. It's not really my thing. I'm a bit too delicate, my system. I was in a nightclub recently. A fellow young raver danced up and shouted, "I'm loving it, loving it, loving it!" I replied, "I'm finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy." People jump around like crazy in those places. At one point, my cup and saucer was knocked clean out of my hand. It's tricky. I mean, I've tried the dancing. That's not my thing either. I don't care if I haven't got sexy Latin rhythms. I've got a Latin A-level. Much more transferable in the job market. I was on the dance floor recently. A lot of my fellow young ravers were blowing whistles, so I joined in and gave a bloody good pop on my bugle. Unfortunately, that meant half the Bosworth Hunt came charging in across the dance. Pounds mistook 3 of the ginger students for foxes, and there was a hell of a mess. Thank you very much, Miles.
And the subject is health. Who wants to come in on that? Miles.
OK, well, health. I have recent experience of the medical profession. My wife and I, we have a little baby, and we had a home birth. If you mention the idea even of a home birth to people of an older generation, they're always instantly terrified, but that's just a generational thing, like racism and not indicating on roundabouts. They don't realise there's another way forward. But I myself, I have to say, quite nervy about the idea. On the one hand, I thought, is our sitting room really the safest place for us to have a newborn child, right? On the other hand, I did think it would be an excellent opportunity for us to get some new carpets. Perhaps take advantage of our extremely comprehensive home and contents policy. I waited till the head was showing. You've got to be sensitive. And then I tiptoed into the next room and got straight onto the phone to our insurance people. You know, I was excited. I mean, I was giving all the measurements. I'd done them months ago. But they were, you know, a lot of questions. They asked a lot of questions, the insurance people. They wanted to know why my wife had attempted to give birth in every room in the house.
Thank you very much. Subject is hospitals. Who wants to come in on Miles?
Hospitals. I can understand why some people think that they're a good idea. I really dislike them. I think hospitals are terrifying places to be. I've had several general anaesthetics over the last years. I'm terrified of all of these things. I think hospitals, they are basically they are grey buildings full of people who are dead, about to be, overworked, stressed out, or asking for change for the car parking facilities. Right? That's all they... I can't understand, therefore, why even now, even today, we have this thing where the idea that a nurse's uniform is considered sexy. Now, I've got no doubt whatsoever that lots and lots of nurses themselves, I should imagine some of them unbelievable creatures, but the idea... But the idea that the outfit itself is sexy. And yet, if you wander into a sex shop, either, deliberately or, you might have some sort of job that involves touring, you've constantly got to go and ask directions in places. Still, people are buying nurses' uniforms as a sexy outfit. What is sexy about a nurse's uniform? Surely a nurse's uniform, that just screams hospital at you. Who's at home going, oh, I'll tell you what, darling, could you dress up as a nurse for me tonight? You dress up as a nurse. I want you to remind me of the time I had a length of my bowel removed. Would you do that for me? Would you? Of course. Go on, I'll tell you what, when you put that on, act like a naughty nurse. Go on, act like a naughty nurse. A naughty nurse is one that doesn't wash their hands. That smothers you with a pillow, having subtly encouraged you to alter your own will. This place is rubbish, said Edmund. Doesn't anybody have sex here? Oh, yes, said Aslan. What do you think the griffins are for?
The first subject is showbiz. Who wants to come in that? Moth job.
Well, what can I tell you about show business? Almost nothing. No, in fact, it's very nice to see an audience. To be perfectly honest, that's not always been the case. I remember doing a gig about 12 years ago in Edinburgh. I was doing a gig one night, and there was one person in the audience. The entire audience was made up of one person, right? And in those days, I was in a double act. Right. Now, if you're in an opera or something and you and the orchestra outnumber the audience, there is possibly some dignity involved. If you're in a double act and you outnumber the audience, that is pretty much the bleakest thing that can happen. Right? But we went for it because we were young and keen. Juppin' George, we were called. He's a policeman now, no longer allowed to be amusing. We were going for it. It was actually going all right, but after about 5 minutes, the audience. He put his hand up, and we said, what is it, Joe? He said, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but I have to go to the lavatory. We had to wait for him to come back. And the sumo wrestler grunts as his opponent enters the ring. Pretty sure that move's illegal. Is it pick an arbitrary length of time?
How dare you talk like that about my mother?
My mum's ruined mangoes, my dad's ruined baths. Between us, we're in this country.
Oh, I think we've just scraped off a layer there. Is that a story from your childhood? What's going on?
A couple of weeks ago, something on stage.
Oh, right. Don't watch myself.
No, I know. The first subject is travel. Miles.
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with trains. It's the quiet coach, OK? Quiet, that is an adjective. It doesn't go far enough. Quiet is an adjective. It should be called the silent coach, shouldn't it? The silent coach. No one would have any trouble understanding that. It's the silent coach, right? You can't talk on it, you can't use your laptop, children can't travel on it, you can't eat crisps, and crucially, the train people, they wouldn't be allowed to make announcements. Because the sort of people that have the mentality to travel on the quiet coach, which is the correct mentality, are the sort of people who check where the train is going before they bloody get on it. For years, we've just not got these things right. Mock the Week audience, you're exactly the sort of people that know what I'm talking about. In Russia, during the revolution, right? During the Russian Revolution, the Russian army was able to travel to all of its battles by train. During a revolution, they were still able to rely on public transport. Imagine if we had a revolution now and the army had to rely on transport, we'd be buggered, wouldn't we? Certainly those of us who wanted the army to win. Absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Marston Moor 2016 kicked off, the British Army turning up 7 hours late to every single conflict. Oh, sorry, there were leaves on the line at Stevenage. There was a passenger action at Crewe. We were going to be joined by the SAS, but they've been stuck on a rail replacement bus service in Horrified.
Thank you very much, What might we be sending out via smartphones next year?
Oh, this is a good one. This is smells. You can sell smells over your iPhone.
Yes.
It's brilliant, isn't it? If you fart in a meeting, you know, just blame your phone. You know, somebody sent me a farticon. I'll just turn that off, you know.
You're going to say it's going to be great when Obama finally picks up the phone and goes, Dave, I can smell pasta. You in Trago Mills?
We don't need it, do we? Like, it's this constant thing of, like, making things that nobody is being on the phone to someone and go, do you know what would make this so much easier to understand what you're on about? If I could smell you.
There is a good use for it. For instance, if you're seriously into collecting your cheeses, you don't actually keep them in your own house. You keep them at someone who owns a cheesery, and you say, you know, you ring up and you say, how's my camembert doing? And he goes, well, I can let you know. And he goes and he records it and he texts you, you know, where, you know, you think, well, that needs another 10 years, that sort of thing.
Do you genuinely phone up? Do you genuinely check on your cheese?
No, mate, I'm improvising.
I don't know how the other half live.
You might well be a Blade Runner, Ryan, but in this house we do not run with scissors.
The next round is called Between the Lines and features Hugh and Frankie. Would you make your way to the press pit, please? Frankie delivers a speech in the guise of a leading figure on the world stage, while Hugh translates what they really mean. Frankie, this week, you are leader of the opposition, David Cameron, addressing the nation.
Let me assure you, I understand the pain of the people of Tewkesbury.
We're both up to our necks in shit.
This summer, I have put the Tory party back where they belong.
Third in 2 by-elections.
I have been criticised recently for my poor performances.
I told the wife it's the stress of the job.
I'm not worried about the polls.
They're doing a lovely job in my kitchen.
Boris Johnson will make a great mayor. He has a lot in common with London's first mayor.
He's a dick.
I have taken steps to ensure that I will be the next Prime Minister of this great country.
Dear Jimmy. Could you fix it for me?
Let's over here, Frankie! OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't want to hear at work.
Oh, you've already given Michael his dosage.
It's not a photocopier, it's a shredder. And what have you done to your arse?
So, you probably want to know how I got the nickname Dog Botherer.
Imagine that. My first day at work, and I appear to have slipped on a wet floor. I think I might be entitled to compensation.
Do you mind if I leave early? I've got to pick up the kids before their parents get there.
He's the CEO, he's the COO, and I'm head of the agricultural division, the CIEIO.
I want you all to put down those football bits that you've been sewing, because I've heard that it's somebody's very special 11th birthday. And we've got you a photo of a cake. Punchawaho, chongwa, punchawaho.
Don't worry, this isn't the first operation I've done. Last time I got almost the whole way round before the buzzer went off.
We've run out of semi-skim, so I've topped your coffee up with breast milk.
What do you mean it's not your turn to make the coffee? This is fucking Starbucks.
Get off your shit.
Whoops! This air traffic control thing's not as easy as it looks.
I've always wanted to work in a library! If only I could read!
Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask you to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features the Prince of Wales.
Good God, it's Margaret Beckett, isn't it? From the First Labour government. Do you know, I'm beginning to wonder how recent this footage actually is. Well, only a train in a box. That's odd. Mummy normally gives me a Twix and a lump of organic cheese. Still, never mind. Stick that on eBay. So this sir will be your driver, Dave. Hello, Dave. I love you. So you drive this, do you? Yes, I bet you've got a tale or two to tell. Yeah, well, actually, it has been hairy a couple of times. I bet it has. Yes. Do you know, I quite fancy doing your job. Yes, and I quite fancy doing your job. Well, that's not going to fucking happen, is it? Can I have a go? No, I'm afraid it's against regulations. Is it? Is it? Now, Dave, think very carefully. Yes, I think that's the right answer. Nobody wants to be force-fed organic biscuits. Anyway, let's have some fun. This is an impression. This is the British economy. It's going backwards. Yes, I'm here all week. Don't worry, I understand about trains. Now, tell me, Dave, can this go sideways? Backwards and forwards. It's backwards and forwards. Why don't we just concentrate on driving the train? So just push the lever forward if you could. It's a lever, is it? I thought it was an enormous licorice allsort. What do? Just push it forward, do I? Oh, yes, look, we're going. Well, this is a piece of piste. I'm stealing a living. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on, my arm's stuck. I think, hang on, Dave, my arm's locked. David, my arm. Dave, my arm, I can't stop. My arm's locked. His arm's locked. My arm's locked. I can't. Oh, my God, where are the brakes? Where are the brakes? They're out of control. I can't stop it. Got you there, didn't I, Dave?
Well done, you got us. What did the Bank of England unveil last week?
I think it was a new fiver, wasn't it?
This is the new fiver, my friend. This is the new fiver.
Oh, make it rain.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of doing that. Like, oh, yeah, fiver. Yeah. Oh,
You're making it drizzle at that
step. Yeah, hang on. That's it, isn't it? That's the motion. These were lent us by the bank for, you know, interest in Saturka, not for me to go,
That's literally the worst rap video of all time. Never see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre fetching the money they've just thrown.
Oh, honey, yeah, £30. Does that make your dreams come true? Oh, this would be terrible. Imagine because they're actually they're plasticky and clear and see through their polymer notes, which means you could actually go to the laptop and go, I can see you. I can see you putting some money.
Imagine that at a cashier. I can see you. I can see you. Just pay for the condoms and leave.
The testing that they put them through, they said they dipped it in tea for, you know, all those times you mistake a fiver for a hobnob.
I often do that when I'm taunting younger comedians. Oh, really? I eat my fibers.
It could be they realised the recession was caused by people leaving fivers in their jean pockets, putting them in the wash.
Fivers only last they only rarely last 5 years. A £5 note.
You're thrifty, aren't you?
Yeah?
I could make a fiver. I can't even make it last 5 years.
I mean, honestly, cost of living.
This is the most I've ever been paid for this show.
You can't rip it, can you?
It's very difficult to tear. Very
Awful
difficult to burn.
news for magicians.
That'd be so irritating, I should make it doing. Oh, come on. Sign it for me. Oh, is it here? Doing. Ah, come on. Bloody fivers.
I like that
Have you ripped the new ones given to us by the Bank of England specially? Have you literally torn?
Well, they should have made more of an effort to make it stronger.
Back
to the drawing board, guys.
Can I ask if that's actually actually allowed? Because one newspaper went mad about the fact that you were defacing the Queen, and then they said of all the indignities Churchill has suffered, being scrunched up, dipped in tea and Ribena is the worst. And I was like, surely it's the nodding dog commercial. Is that less dignified? Oh, yes.
We shall fight them on the beaches. Okay, so those are the fivers. Yes, please, if you can.
Guys, bad news. I lost mine.
We play a round called Trumpty Dumpty Sat in the Wall. This game involves Angela and Hal. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round's a stand-up challenge. I launched the Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. This first subject is growing old. Who wants to come in that? Angela.
Hello. I recently turned 40, and I want to reassure anyone younger, turning 40 is really easy. My friend turned 40 recently. She made a bucket list, right? She said to me, you're going to make a bucket list. And I said, do you know what I hear when I hear bucket list? I hear admin. That's what I hear. They're always so ambitious, aren't they? It's like, oh, I want to go to the Taj Mahal, I want to swim with dolphins. The only thing I could think of that I genuinely would want to put on my bucket list is that one day, I'd like to put half a packet of biscuits back in a cupboard. But getting old, growing old in this country looks scary, and it's looking scarier and scarier. You know, by the time I get to old age, there won't be care homes anymore, will there? It'll just be an OAP rescue centre. So it'll be like Battersea Dog Zone. This idealistic young couple will come in, they'll get shown around. This is Maud, she likes knitting, gardening, casual racism. Why don't you take her home? That's what it'll be. So we have to worry about these things. We do, because we're all living longer, aren't we? There's so many 100-year-olds in this country now, the Queen's had to get a Moonpig account to keep up. This is my plan for old age. If I get there, right, if I get to my 80s, I am going to spend every single day doing Class A hardcore drugs. Why wouldn't you? Well, you don't have to get up in the morning, do you? Right? You'll never have trouble finding a vein. I'll tell you something, you might not be able to afford to heat your bungalow, but I bet you can afford to heat a teaspoon, then you won't give a shit how cold you are. No brainer, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Angela. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch a Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And it's the economy. Any persons?
I suppose we should be grateful we're not in Greece. Things very bad there. There's rioting. Things so bad, the austerity measures, that they can't even afford to put petrol in their milk bottles to chuck them. Things are so bad they're having to put milk in their milk bottles. That's how bad things are. Oi, take that. Yeah. In 2 hours, your clothes are going to smell really bad. The European Central Bank, right, they have said that when it comes to Greece, they think it may be a bit like the Ebola virus, right? And they said we may have to cut off our leg to survive. Now, they may know a bit about finance. They know very little about the Ebola virus. It affects your entire body. You cut your leg off, you've still got the Ebola virus. You've just got one leg bloody less.
Thank you very much, Andy Parkland. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is clubbing. Who wants to talk about that? Myers.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can all tell I'm a bit of a clubber. Nothing I like more than getting down to the local hotspot and shaking the old batty and ting, a bit of shawaddy-waddy. Don't mind if I do. I have tried night clubbing. It's not really my thing. I'm a bit too delicate, my system. I was in a
in a nightclub recently, a fellow young raver danced up and shouted, "I'm loving it, loving it, loving it!" I replied, "I'm finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy." People jump around like crazy in those places. At one point, my cup and saucer was knocked clean out of my hand. It's tricky. I mean, I've tried the dancing. That's not my thing either. I don't care if I haven't got sexy Latin rhythms. I've got a Latin A-level. Much more transferable in the job market. I was on the dance floor recently. A lot of my fellow young ravers were blowing whistles, so I joined in and gave a bloody good pop on my bugle. Unfortunately, that meant half the Bosworth Hunt came charging in across the dance. Hounds mistook 3 of the ginger students for foxes, and there was a hell of a mess. Thank you very much, Miles Josh.
OK, that leaves us with Jack. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is health.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that is my gun. So, we are in the midst of an obesity epidemic, and the people I blame, definitely, are the supermarkets, because I don't think they're doing enough, right? Like, you go into any supermarket now, you buy food. If you care about what you put into your body, you look at the nutritional information, you know, the little wheel of guilt that every packet has on it now. That lures you in, doesn't it? Like, you buy something, like ice cream. It's like, this ice cream only contains 5% of your daily intake of calories. You're like, oh, that's very promising. I'll buy and eat the ice cream then. Then you look a little bit closer, above the little wheel of guilt, tiny white writing, 1/8 of a tub. Oh, you cheeky bastard. You're not allowed to do that. Put on the packet whatever makes it sound good to sell the product, then make up a ludicrously unrealistic portion size so I buy it like a twat. That's like Greg's getting this sausage roll only contains 2% of your daily intake of calories, if you lick it. It needs to be more. I think what the supermarkets need to start doing is putting warnings on their packets of food, like they do with cigarettes. You buy cigarettes, it's got a horrible picture of, like, a lung caked in shit. You're like, oh, I don't want to smell that. You should do it with food. Tesco's, on cakes, should just have pictures of, I don't know, a really fat woman crying as she walks out of Topshop empty-handed.
OK, at the end of that round, what the hell? Points for everyone. Come on, sit back down here. Do you enjoy Christmas? Do you like the holiday season?
Why isn't there any decoration on the set?
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Without any decoration, boys?
Oh. Yeah! Christmas is here!
Nothing.
That's...
Nothing makes Christmas more than a miserable Scot just going...
Do it now. This should be the opening of the Olympic ceremony. That'll be good.
Well, do you enjoy the Christmas?
I hate Christmas. It's like the opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan, except every third person is a woman puking into a handbag. People queuing to get into Yates's wine lodge. That sums up Christmas. You're queuing to get into somewhere shit. Just women who are praying for the invention of the morning after Bacardi Breezer.
You make Christmas specials a lot differently than we do in Australia.
Yeah.
See, this is the most miserable Christmas thing I've ever been involved in. This is my worst Christmas.
OK, here we go. The first subject is... unlikely lines from a cosmetics commercial.
Do you want tighter, smoother skin? Why not try getting fat?
For a rich, all-over tan, get into a bath David Dickinson's just got out of.
Do you suffer from low self-esteem, feel like a failure, think you can't go on? Then take 200 Nurofen. That should do the trick.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she got it off that guy in Ibiza.
Now, Daphne here is wearing a lot of concealer. Daphne?
What's my secret? I murdered my first husband.
Want thicker, fuller lips? Then try telling a nightclub bouncer he's a twat to his face.
Clinique. Because clinic reminds you of chlamydia and stuff.
This eyeliner really works. And it tastes good too. That's why we call it chicken tikka mascara.
I'm Dean Gaffney, and I'm worth it.
We don't test any of our products on animals. We use Filipino children.
Is your man hairy all over? Then why not try head, shoulders, knees and toes?
New anti-wrinkle cream for men. My scrotum has never felt so small.
For the most relaxing bubble bath imaginable. Why not have a little cheeky wank when you're in there?
Do you dream of longer, fuller lashes? Then you should try re-evaluating your priorities.
Sweaty from the tube, frizzy hair from the rain, black snot. She's got the London look.
3 steps to a better skin. No crisps, no chips, no burgers.
What has Boris Johnson splashed out on this week?
He's bought 2 things called Ziegler Wasserwerfer 9000s.
He has bought the Ziegler Wasserwerfer 9000.
Yeah, they're water cannon. He's bought 2 water cannon.
Yes.
I'm hoping it's going to be like Boris bikes, and you can rent them out and ride them around.
His idea is...
drive them up to your neighbour's barbecue, guys. Hello, Terry. No invitation from me again, I see.
Oh, you could...
Those sausages are coming along very well.
Or put fairy liquid in it and have a foam party.
Surely the best way to stop a riot with a water cannon would be to put some Radox in it. Everyone just relax and have a look.
He said the reason, didn't he? He said the reason he was getting them is because he thought that they could have been used to protect the firemen during the riots in 2011. As if, of course, the firemen didn't have their own high-projectile watering machine they could have used.
I reckon he got really drunk and just bought it off eBay. Because that's happened to me. I've got a pair of roller skates and a windsurfer in my shed.
Windsurfer? That's a man.
Yeah, I know.
Still. Does he ever put on the roller skates and you just hear him just roller skating around the...
You're laughing, but the bloke in your garage is bloody furious, I'll tell you.
What's he doing in there? He's in the shed, isn't he? He's moved.
Do you move him around every so often?
Yeah, because otherwise you get spare bedroom taxed.
If Boris Johnson ever offers to show you his water cannon, say no. And Boris, if you're watching, I don't want your money, I just think you should see our kid.
At the end of that round, the points go to Rob, Hugh and Gary! Next topic is things that would change the atmosphere at a dinner party.
Ignore the banging. She's been in there for 24 years.
Help yourself to Nibbles. He was our favourite hamster, but it's what he would have wanted.
Are you sure this is pork? It's just because Mike Crackling has a tattoo.
Don't worry, we say grace. We just sacrifice a child to the great god Imhotep.
Doorbell! Excellent. That'll be Heather Mills and James Blunt. Hope he's brought his guitar.
I hope nobody's allergic to nuts, because I like to rest mine on the table.
Well, this is absolutely lovely. I say we all raise a glass to the Fuhrer!
10 of you arrived. Only one will leave.
Anyway, long story short, after about 2 hours, you couldn't tell what was poo and what was chocolate.
There is a vegetarian option. You can fuck off.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Ed and Andy.
This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's have the first topic, please. The first subject is politics. Who shall come in on politics? Louisa.
So you guys are all worried about your prime ministers and that kind of stuff. I'd say calm down. Because I'm from South Africa, and the guy who's the head of state now was facing 763 charges before he became the president. That's a lot of crime. You have to break the law every day for 2 years. Because you guys are, I mean, we had a great president, our first democratically elected president, President Nelson Mandela. And I had the opportunity to meet Nelson Mandela. He came up to me. I was a young lad. I think I was about 12 and stuff. And he came up to me and said, young man, would you like me to tell you a joke? I said, yeah, go ahead. It's your country. Knock, knock. I said, who's there? Who else speaks like this? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Louisa.
That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been got. Let's spin the wheel. And it's jobs. Milton.
Have you noticed that if you Google the phrase lost medieval servant boy, it says this page cannot be found? Some of you are going to be doing that tomorrow. I think if I was opening a Pizza Express, I'd open it next to a Vision Express, so we got some of their customers by mistake. I think if I had unlimited money, I'd hire 2 private investigators and get them to follow each other. Do you ever get that thing where you think someone's probably definitely wearing a wig, and you think to yourself, I'm sorry, Your Honour. I'm a bit of a lazy writer, according to my children, QWERTY and F12. Being a PE teacher, that's easy, isn't it? Shiny. I teach running. Run. I teach swimming. Swim. And a tiny, tiny little bit of geography. Jog. Thank you, Max.
That's everyone. Post take with Milton Jones. Come back, both of you.
And the topic is relationships. Who wants to come in that? Russell.
Britain, I have sexual advice for you. That's right. When I was 18, I used food in the bedroom. Now, don't ever do it. It didn't go well, right? I used Rolo yogurt. And rather than tell... Yeah, exactly, right? Rather than tell my then-girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yogurt goblin, right? Now, I doubt there's anything more terrifying than coming home to find me naked, holding yogurt, going, yeah, right? And I panicked, and rather than putting a little bit on, I pretty much basted her, right? By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. You're sat there. I created an angry meal. You don't know where to start licking. You don't want to lick randomly, then she looks like she's got an illness. So, I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. And hours, I was just... She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tipp-Ex, right? It didn't end there. I was like, I can't help you. The door opened, one of my dogs ran in and started licking the other leg. Never use food in the bedroom.
Thank you very much, Russell Howard. So that leaves us with Stuart. Let's have a look at the last topic then. And the topic is family. Stuart.
Before I rock the microphone, I want to I want to dedicate my performance to my father, who was a roofer. So, Dad, if you're up there. I'll tell you about my family. I'm the youngest of three. My parents are both older, and I have mixed-race parents. My father prefers the 100 meters, and my mother's Pakistani. I was raised by my father. My mother left before I was born. And you know, I like being raised by my father. He's schizophrenic, but he's good people. I remember one summer I was 5 and he was Mussolini. Went to the park that day. I love parks. Standing in the park today wondering, why does a Frisbee appear larger the closer it gets? And then it hit me. My uncle's a hypnotist who has never inappropriately touched me. I have to leave now. I'm a member of Overactors Anonymous, and we have an Overactors Anonymous meal that starts in...
It's Christmas time, and we hope you're all enjoying the season at home as much as we are here in October. But now, in the past, people have said we don't try harder to be festive on this show, so this year we're going an extra mile. We decided to buy each other Christmas presents, so let's see what everyone got. And for Chris, I'm just going to go to you first.
OK. Well, my first present is for Hugh. I've bought everybody a bit of headgear. That's for Hugh. First.
So we're going to put it on?
Yeah, you got to put it on, yeah. That'd be nice, you know. It's Christmas Day, you've got to do that, haven't you? Because Hugh is our captain, Dara. The middle second denotes captaincy. He's the captain of the team.
Captain of the team.
No seniority, no points.
I'm also going to be in Fantasy... What's it called?
He looks more like being a remake of The Village People at the moment.
For Andy, I got a... I know what it's like going out in public and people hassling you and stuff. I bought Andy...
I look at your present,
I bought Andy a disguise so that he can disguise himself so nobody will know it's Andy. Nobody will be able to tell it's him. And for Dara, I just got a lovely hat for him to wear. It's a lovely hat. It's a normal-sized hat for a normal-sized head. Completely normal-sized hat.
I've got a present for you that hasn't been wrapped.
That's all right.
I'm really sorry. It is socks. I know that's boring, but they're not ordinary socks. They're DVT socks.
Because I'm very worried about how little you move around, and I don't want you. Normally, you'd have to worry about it on a long... Yeah, it'd be on a long-haul flight you'd have to worry about it, but... Yeah, I haven't seen you walk for... Well, since 2005, so... I've also got a present for Chris here. Because, well, it's really a present for us more than anything. It's,
put this on, right?
It's just a game, really. You put that on. You just put that on, OK? And then for the long periods...
You so look like John McEnroe at a
You do. And for the long periods of the show when Dara doesn't bother to look at us or talk to us, we can just play. There you go.
This looks like Christmas ever.
It looks like a Dire Straits video gone wrong.
You go.
Oh. Honestly, I don't see what the problem is.
Gosh, this is just like my school days, only now I'm wearing a hat.
No.
Our next round is called Newsreel. We play on a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask Hugh to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features Boris Johnson and David Cameron.
Ah, tally-ho, look out, posh boy coming through. I wonder if there's any grub. I'm absolutely starving. Now, remember why we're here, Boris? We're here to reassure the public about spending cuts, not just so you can eat. No, but look, there's cake. There's cake. There's loads of cake. I love cake. They've got all sorts of cake. They've got pink cake. They've got blue cake. What am I? Am I pink? Am I blue? Am I pink? I've never been pink. God, I sound like William Hague. Anyway, all the cake's on cameras. He's got loads of cash from the spending cuts. Actually, this is the last £10 left in Britain, so we'd best be careful with it. Well, I want a meringue. I love a meringue. I love all the cream in a meringue. Well, why don't you share mine? I mean, times are hard. Well, I could, I suppose, but I have a rule. I have a rule. I never share anything with another man, unless, of course, it's his wife. There we go. Now, careful, don't get any of the white stuff up there. No, that would be very bad. Anyway, so do you have any change? We were hoping to have saved some for the poor people. It doesn't really matter, but if there is some left over... Have you? £3, lovely. That's absolutely perfect. God, there's a big crowd here. I wonder if I could do them for the congestion charge. They absolutely love me for the congestion charge. They love my blonde-haired buffoonery. They love me. Come on, Boris. Oh, yes, they love me. And they love me when I'm riding my bike. That's what they really love. Yes, oops. There we go. That's the Pakistani betting syndicate satisfied. Oh, look, lovely. Sticky fingers. Yes, I love a sticky finger. That's not the first. Oh, look, a genuine Cockney. Hello, how are you? Oh, Lauren Lummy, who shot Cock Robin, apples and pears. Down the old chimney, Mary Poppins, the Cray twins, innit? I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well done, you.
The next topic is things a sports commentator would never say.
England have won the World Cup.
And that was 11.3 seconds. Sorry, Michael, you will not be getting a second date.
Ronaldo there being booked by the referee for taking his shirt off. He should know the rules by now. You are not allowed to take the referee's shirt off.
Well, in this Grand National, as they come round to the chair for the second time, the music stops. Red rum is eliminated.
And you join us now for the diving. Here we go. Oh, that wasn't very impressive. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, no, you join us here for the swimming. Right.
Well, I think from here he's going to go for the top right-hand corner, and he does! That is how you stick on a stamp.
Judges, they're all very impressed. A textbook reverse tuck. You're watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Is that Maria Sharapova or Mark the Week's Olga Koch?
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. We've got a very exciting afternoon of sport ahead of us, but first, the golf.
Welcome to the world's strongest man competition, where we see Dave from Sunderland attempt to pull a bus. They really will shag just anything.
And now time for the gay horses. I mean, dressage.
And he has rested the ball there perfectly on the cushion. This really is a lovely new saddle they've made for Lance Armstrong.
Well, at the start of the day, I asked if he'd got the bottle. Now he has proved he has got the bottle. That is my bottle. Give me my bottle.
Will it be gold? Will it be silver? Will it be bronze? Who knows what colour the Russians' urine test will be?
Oh, and here they come, running onto the field, completely naked, wearing nothing but shoes. This is an absolute... Sorry? I'm being informed that horses always look like that. This is my first time doing the ground.
At the end of that round, the points go to Olga, Hugh and Reese.
Hello and welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Joe Caulfield and Greg Davis, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Gary Delaney. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Gary, which category would you like?
Media, please, Dara.
OK, your category is media. The answer is 600 metres. What is the question?
Is it, if Kelvin Mackenzie was to do a bungee jump from a height of 500 metres, what length rope should he be given?
Is it, in fact, what head start would I need if I was competing against Usain Bolt in the 100 metres?
Is it simpler than that? Is it how big are some trees, Dara?
No trees are simpler.
Is it how far is the Queen's bed from her ensuite bathroom? How far away can Boris Johnson smell of custard cream?
Is it, in fact, how far can the Proclaimers walk now?
Is it at what distance is Theresa May attractive?
None of the rest of us could do that, but good to have you on board.
Is it when kicking Chris Brown in the bollocks, exactly how long a run-up should you take?
Is it proportionally, if a clown's nose was the size of Dara's head, how long would his shoes be? Is it how long was the longest runner bean ever grown at the Fukushima nuclear plant?
Is it, in fact, how long would your penis be if all the products in the spam emails worked?
Is it what is the delivery radius of a relatively unambitious pizza company?
Sorry, we'll move towards the correct answer, please.
Is it the distance that Prince Philip sprinted to get hold of a copy of the French magazine Clothing? Am I close?
You can be closer.
Is it, in fact, the distance that they were taking shots of Kate topless?
That is absolutely right. Thank you very, very much, Andy Parker. Yes, the question I was looking for was, from what approximate distance did a photographer take pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge sunbathing topless? This is news that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have taken legal action against French magazine Closer, which has printed topless photographs of Kate.
Called,
it's called, I don't know, the French call it Closer for some reason. There's a French woman working the show, and I'm going, sure, it's Closet. She goes, no, Closer. A French court has blocked future publication of the pictures in France, but they've already been published in Italy and Ireland.
There's loads of royals who've been snapped naked, haven't they? Obviously Harry, you know, now Kate, then we had Andrew before that, Charles before that, Countess of Wessex. I mean, there have been, in fact, so many of them, I think they should persuade a few more of them to do it, and then they could release a charity calendar.
The thing is, isn't it? It's terrible, it's unjustifiable, it's immoral, but I quite want to see the pictures.
Are you saying you haven't seen them yet?
I haven't. I've seen fuzzy versions of them on the...
I think
They're all fuzzy. Pictures were taken from the Hubble telescope.
From the Hubble telescope.
What I found intriguing was I think, I don't know what everyone was, I was certainly waiting for the next time she appeared in public to see if she would acknowledge what had happened to the cameras. And she didn't. She just did the same smile that she always does. Because if someone had photographed my meat and two veg, I probably would have come out and gone...
I think the whole thing is just making a mountain out of two molehills.
That's a good point.
I'd probably be better, I think, the BBC prefer if we didn't descend into judging the woman's breasts. That would be the incorrect direction.
I think she's annoyed because, and every woman's had this on holiday, because I've looked at the photos, and they're at that awkward angle. When you're topless, you've got to stay at a certain position or it's not attractive, and she's in that reaching for the sun cream position. That's what she's annoyed about. You know, we've all got those photos, like my Uncle Terry, where he popped out of his shorts.
But do you think... I didn't see that edition of Closer. Joe's Uncle Terry pops out of the shops and his shorts.
Do you think she's genuinely worried about it, though? Don't you think there's just one tiny... Well, do you think there's just one tiny bit of her that's thinking, you know, where's my sister's arse now, then, eh?
What's this going to do next?
Things you wouldn't hear at a party conference.
Muscle tov!
Why are we having this conference in Blackpool? 2 words: cheap cocaine.
Jeremy Hunt is having a heart attack. Is there a doctor in the house? Why are you laughing?
So, we'll be having one speech from a Remainer, a speech from a Brexiteer, another speech from a Remainer, another speech from a Brexiteer, and then Boris Johnson will drop his trousers. So that's in, out, shake it all about.
What this conference has taught me is this party needs more women, because the hotel bar last night was an absolute sausage fest.
Welcome, delegates, to this year's Liberal Democrat Conference. Conference.
So to those who say we have alienated too many groups in society to get elected, let me say this: fuck off.
I know some of you have been challenging my leadership, and to you I say, bring it on, ya ball bags.
Some have said that the Labour Party has lost contact with its working-class roots. But I say to these people the same thing I said to my driver this morning: do not address me directly.
So, now we've sorted out Brexit.
They told us Brexit was undeliverable. They told us Brexit was unworkable. But where are they now? They are outside with banners saying, "I told you so."
Right, it's the Green Party conference, and now it's time to break for lunch. Who ordered the veal?
I'm afraid Rees Mogg can't be with us today. Someone hung garlic at the threshold and he can't pass through.
So everything is still on the table. Why has no one cleared the table?
It's incredible to think that some people think of us as a cult. Anyway, could you all just line up while Jeremy Corbyn chooses his wives?
Of course the Tories are like regular people. You should have seen us in the bar last night. Giles's wet nurse downed a whole bottle of port.
We have had soft Brexit. We have had hard Brexit, but now we have a more digestible alternative. Ready Brexit.
So what changes does Ed Miliband propose to bring in about voting?
Is it the 16-year-olds can vote?
Yes, absolutely, 16-years and 17-years, because that would be really weird if you just said 16-years too. But then, wait, what, you're 17? No, you can't. It's because you've gone hormonal again. I mean, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. We don't know. We're going to work.
Have a gap year.
Yeah, that'd be great. Gap year for voting.
Yeah, but that's a tight one.
Listen, all young people are going to have a gap year of about 40 years before they vote again anyway.
And it seems very fair that you should be able to vote at 16 in Scotland, because 16 a lot of places in Scotland, that counts as middle age, doesn't it? So...
Yeah, to be honest, at 16, I don't think I would have been trusted myself, because my question would have been, will there be girls there? Yeah. Oh, no! Oh, I don't think there's girls.
Yeah, Poet Babe Station. That should have been. Whole Babe Station.
Girls there miming, voting. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. You can
X my box.
How about giving 3-year-olds the vote and still having one ballot box, but 4 different shapes that they have to put through?
As work as well as the system we have now. What do Labour want public sector employees to have to declare?
Their class.
Their class, yes. Or their class. Is it? Which is it? Oh no! I'll give myself away. Their class.
There's 2 ways I definitely can find out if someone's working class in public sector jobs. One, put bingo pens in the stationery office. If they go, you know they're in. The other one is put on a coach trip, because my aunties, they'll go to Syria if there's a rest stop and a tour guide. Love a coach trip. Anyway.
Middle-class people don't want to self-identify as middle class. They, you know, middle class want to be, you know, because it's more authentic. You know, where it's, you know, middle class is such a bland state of affairs.
It's not bland, is it? Have you tasted some of their food? What kind of flavours going on in there? It's not bland being middle class.
Have you mistaken middle class for Indian? The naan's incredible.
We call them nans. We was in Birmingham the other week doing a gig and you had cream on top of your goulash.
No, listen.
Hey.
Hang on, why are you eating goulash? Goulash is... it's meat in goulash.
I'm not that much of an idiot. It was vegetable goulash. Can I have a beef goulash, but hold the beef? Rob and I had an argument, a discussion about the fact that I thought it had combined so much with the goulash that it rendered the situation untenable. But Rob said, "You could have screamed that out, mate. I don't know what's wrong with you." It's not screaming. He's not vegan. He's eating cream over here. I can't believe it. I haven't even heard of it in Lewisham.
Oh, we're such great mates.
It's a natural banter, which is why we put 5 people in between the two of you.
According to Alex Salmond, it was, you know, a lot of people over 55 in Scotland voted no. In fact, both of them voted no.
The good thing about voting for an independent Scotland is once you put your X in a box, you can cut it out and use it as a little flag.
I thought it was quite lucky for Alex Salmond in some ways that he didn't actually win. Because I think if he had won, his grin might have been so big that he might have eaten himself.
It was also swung supposedly by there was a poll, wasn't there? There was one poll which put the yes ahead, and they think that was a rogue poll, didn't they?
It was a YouGov poll that was 51-49. There would be one guy in the YouGov office who's had an awkward meeting where they went, Terry, every poll, even the results, except your poll, Terry. Who did you ask? Who did you ask?
I love the phrase rogue poll because it sounds like an unwanted erection.
Actually sounds like a Daily Mail headline.
Rogue polls. Rogue polls have been ruining this country. Never in Scotland. Unbelievable.
It's so embarrassing for David Cameron, just after this poll came out, then suddenly he's like, we'll give you loads of powers, honestly, and we'll give you cakes, and it's going to be amazing. Like, please stay. We're really going to look after you, I promise. It's going to be incredible. We're going to have a theme park and a roller coaster and whatever you want. Please stay, please.
And now they've tried to stay, and he's going, oh, yeah. I said a lot of things, didn't I?
What I didn't understand about the Scottish election thing was if the Scottish didn't want to be part of Great Britain, where were they going to live?
The big question which was asked on the night, and it was amazing how quickly it was asked. What was the major question people were asking then on the night?
It wasn't yes or no.
No, it very quickly became, what does this mean for England? Like, within 10 minutes, Scotland was like, oh, hang on, we're still here, you know. Let's go back down to London and ask people what it means for England. Well, this is what I think it'll mean for England. Well, what do you think? I think it'll mean this for England. And Scotland are going, we've not even given you the results yet. We know
the Welsh have been complaining, haven't they? And it's fair enough. It was always going to be, you know, the Scots got a parliament and the Welsh got an assembly. You know, so the Scottish had a proper parliament and the Welsh, they just had a quick head count followed by singing Morning is Broken.
The Welsh are getting stroppy, actually. I was in Cardiff in Waterstones recently. I asked for Pride and Prejudice and the bloke said, I'm proud to be Welsh and I hate the English.
But you wouldn't stop, so you get down to smaller and smaller areas, won't you, wanting power? There'll be referenda in smaller and smaller areas, and then you don't know how to... It's the question in the referendum, I guess. So in the North East, it would have... You couldn't have yes, no. It would have to be aye and no. In Essex, it would be all right and bollocks to that. In Kensington and Chelsea, it would be no and OMG, totes defo ya.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the Prime Minister, the American President and the Chancellor of Germany. Well, what does CIDW stand for?
Is it, in fact, all they've achieved at the G20? Checked in, drank wine.
Is Merkel saying, Cameron, it's Denzel Washington?
She presumably is suggesting an answer to the crisis, isn't she? She's saying, call in Darth Vader.
Or she's saying, careful, I declare war.
Is it, in fact, Cameron interrupts Dirty Weekend?
Is it Cameron introduces drunk woman? Because she does look a bit.
She looks leery anyway.
I reckon it's Merkel's going to the vending machine to get some snacks, so she's checking the order. She's going, is it crunchy, ice cream, Diet Coke, what's it? Is
it David Cameron saying, children, damn, where?
Is it Angela Merkel saying, I've lived my life like a candle in the wind?
I've heard a lot of bad things about Men in Black 3, but it looks pretty good now they've cast Angela Lansbury in it.
Can I get the correct answer, please?
Is it Cameron issues dire warning?
That's very good. Well done. Thank you very much, Joe. Now we play a round called Thief of Gagdad. This game involves Ed, Jack, Andy and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator. It settles on a topic and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is sleep. Edbert.
Does anyone here sleep with someone who snores? Yes? Well, I envy you, because I lie awake next to someone who snores. My wife snores terribly, and part of what keeps me awake is lying there going, how do you sleep through this? I can't sleep through it, I'm only next to it. The noise is inside your head. And how come you can sleep through that? But the sound of me making a sandwich in our kitchen, that wakes you up. There is no way me making a sandwich makes more noise than you're making right now. She snores so... She said the cutest thing to me one time, though. She says, do I not sound like a kitten purring? Bless. No. You sound like a cat drowning in porridge. If I had a kitten made that noise, I'd put it down. Apparently she had her nose broken a couple of times when she was a kid. Didn't teach her, she's still bleeding snores.
Thank you very much, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's the problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, the leads are Russell and Jack. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is television. Who wants to come into that? Jack.
I get very frustrated with pretty much everything on television. I find adverts at the moment particularly annoying, like the banking adverts, because they're trying to portray bankers as being nice people. Like, they've got this one at the moment for, like, a mobile bank that travels around the country, and you walk in and there's your friendly local bank manager acting like a hairdresser, like, nattering away. You know, you walk up to the till, it's like, oh, how was your holiday? I went camping. Oh, why did you go camping? Because you lost all of my money! Decided the only option I've got is just to not watch TV at all, because everything annoys me. And I've got quite a lot of people that pressure me into doing that as well. Like my dad, he's quite old-fashioned. He's always saying, you don't need to watch television. You should do other things, better things, more edifying things. Don't watch TV, Jack. You should read. Read the great novels. They're entertaining, they're educational. Even read the Bible. The Bible is engrossing, it's enthralling. The stories of Jesus, they're encapsulating, they're invigorating. I'm like, no, Dad. If I wanted to be entertained, 12 people sat round a table trying to impress some bearded Jewish know-it-all that thinks he's some kind of deity, I will watch The Apprentice.
Thank you very much, Jack Whitehall. OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was there a minute ago. This is most irregular. Huh? And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. It was like, His long-suffering dad is in the showers, obviously heard this and went, "That'll be my bloody boy!" Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, "Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public?" And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. "Dad, your willy's moving?" And you're just there going, oh, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell. At the end of that round, the points go to Ed and Jack.
In other news, what has the government promised motorists this week?
They've said that if your ticket machine is broken, then you can just park there. Which is basically going to lead to people getting to the ticket machine, seeing they've got no change, getting the baseball bat out the back of their car.
I've got no change, but I do have a baseball bat.
What sort of impulse purchase is that? No, just a bar of chocolate, please. Hello, are they baseball bats?
I do think it is a weird strategy, because what you're saying is we're going to make it OK for you to park by a broken meter. So, you know, a solution seems to be fix the meters. Do you know what I mean? Rather than make it OK to park next to broken ones. It's like saying, well, you know, all the trains are late and we know they never arrive, you know, when they're supposed to. So what we've decided to do to tackle the problem, we've decided to abandon the concept of time. So nobody's ever going to be late for anything.
Are you late, or are you not late, or are you simply never? Has it not arrived to you?
At the information desk. And people go, "I'm not sure you'll be able to help me." "Oh, will I not be able to help you?" I'm blowing your mind.
Why has Pickles done this now? I reckon all that's happened is recently Eric Pickles got a parking ticket when he was only 10 minutes late, and he's thought, "Oh, I could do something about this."
I'll tell you what he looks like there. He looks like Trago Mills.
You crossed me for the last time, Mr. Bond.
His hat, rather weirdly, has got the face of an owl, if you look at it.
By the way, on an interesting related note, what did Labour promise for everyone this week on Twitter?
Oh,
owls. Genuinely owls. The Labour Twitter feed, they claim, got hacked with the words, "Everybody should have his own owl." This is sinister. This is Trago Mills. He's infiltrated both political parties at the same time.
Well, I don't know. I think it's giving birds of prey away. I think it's a quick fix, but it's not a long-term solution.
I'm just very sad. I live on my own. I was looking forward to getting an owl to talk to. All I've got is my Henry Hoover.
If you lived at home with an owl and said, "Oh, just you and me now, owl," and then the owl just slowly turned its head away. OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Josh, Angela and Andy! Now, we play a round called Mock Out with Your Cock Out. This game involves Ellis and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is life stages. Who wants to come in on that? Ellis.
I've got a very young kid, and one of the things I noticed about fatherhood is that it's turning me into a dad, right? I've started doing this thing that when I'm excited, I've only ever seen usually Welsh, usually very working-class dads do when they're excited, and I call it the clap and rub. OK, so if my mum, for instance, said, "Oh, I can't be bothered to cook tonight, why don't we have fish and chips?" My dad, because he'll excite you, will go, "Fish and chips? Fish and chips?" have started doing that now, but when I'm doing it, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Right? Why am I clapping and rubbing my hands? But it's an amazing thing, the clap and rub, because it's so versatile. You can use it to display excitement about anything. So you're like, oh, I'm going out for a drink with my friend Dennis. Oh, the inquiry found me not guilty. Another thing with having a baby is I think it brought on a midlife crisis. One of the first things I did when she was born was I joined a boxing club, like a proper spit and sawdust South London boxing club. I don't want anyone to be frightened at home because I'm not hard bloke, because at my level, boxing is almost exclusively skipping. I am absolutely incredible at skipping now, but I don't know how this is going to help me in a one-on-one combat situation. I'm so be walking down to Mali way late at night and a bloke will be like, "Oi, give me your phone and your wallet." I'm like, "What, are you mugging me?" "Yeah, I'm mugging you." "Yeah, you mugging me?" "Yeah, I'm mugging you." "Yeah, yeah, yeah." "Well, try it."
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is relationships.
The other day, a woman described me as a bit of a looker. Well, voyeur was the actual word that she used. I used to go out with a parachutist with IBS, but she shat on me from a great height. One time I nearly had a threesome with my girlfriend and my best friend, and the only thing that stopped it happening was they didn't invite me. My girlfriend said she wanted to try some new condoms with something special inside to boost her pleasure. I said, "Oh, what's that?" She said, "Other men." Our fourth child was called Ivy, and that's because we ran out of names and started using Roman numerals. My last girlfriend was always trying to put me down, which is just one of the hazards of going out with a vet. I tried reading a book on premature ejaculation, but I couldn't get past the opening passage. This Christmas, I'm taking the whole family to Lapland, which is great, because normally those clubs don't let kids in. I always worry when a woman sees me naked for the first time that she's just going to scream and run out the park. My girlfriend and I love watching box sets. We got 3 episodes into Orange is the New Black before finding out it wasn't about what would happen if Trump replaced Obama.
Thank you very much. Well done. Point in that round of the go to lady. Come on. Bad things to say at a job interview.
What can I bring to the job? A burning hatred of the West, a hook for a hand and a pilot's licence.
The 5-year employment gap, yeah. I was canoeing.
Right, I hope we can all be professional about the fact that I've just split up with all 3 of you.
I'm really only here because I'm hoping to slip on a wet floor and then fall off a ladder.
Yes, I've had a few changes of address, Wormwood Scrubs, Broadmoor, but for the last 3 months I've lived in your air conditioning.
I'm really into diversity. In my last team, I made sure that we had a black, a fruit and a fatty.
I have always wanted to work in a motel.
I'm telling them, Mother, I'm telling them!
This job would be a great opportunity for me to steal a shitload of stationery.
Hey, I remember you from the dungeon. How you doing? It's me, Gimpy Terry.
I'm Gimpy Terry's mate.
Sum myself up in 3 words. Well, I suppose it would have to be killer alien vagina.
What do you mean I'm underqualified to be a plumber? I'm 5 hours late. I've done a piss in your sink.
When can I start? Yesterday. But I can only work till today.
9 till 5, 9 till 5. My medication wears off at 3.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is rejected questions from this year's exams.
What colour does a Smurf go when we choke it?
Translate the following into German. 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
How many pepperami big boys could you feed to Victoria Beckham through a tube before she became visible to the human eye?
What is the name of the force that pulls objects towards the centre of the Earth? Is it A, gravity, or B, magic?
Katie Price is supposedly worth £8.5 million and has got a thriving TV career. Explain.
If George Michael leaves at 8 o'clock for a 5-mile drive, when does he crash?
There are 6 lines of equal length. How long will Kerry Katona be in the bathroom?
If a train is going at 70 miles per hour, how surprised would you be?
What is amnesia? Is it A, memory loss, A, memory loss, or 4, the Battle of Hastings?
If Sally buys 3 oranges and 2 apples, how far south of Scotland is she?
Discuss the idea that Willy Wonka was a paedophile.
What is amnesia? Is it A, memory loss,
Draw a diagram of the male genitalia. Please use the tracing paper provided.
What are most Canadians renowned for saying? A,
English. Is standards declining?
Hitler, Pol Pot, Genghis Khan. Shag, marry or kill.
There's a wedding where Jane invites 20 guests and her partner Helen invites 40 guests. How angry is God?
The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Christmas.
In the current financial market, a dog is not just for Christmas, it's for Christmas dinner.
Bad news, I'm afraid. Santa didn't realise it was an eco house and he's been sliced to pieces by the wind turbine.
Have you been a naughty boy this year, Tommy? Would you like to be? I've got money.
Well, it seems ironic, really, doesn't it? We buy a non-drop Christmas tree and then this happens to Grandad.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me chlamydia.
A grain of rice for Christmas. Thanks. Thanks, Uncle Ben.
Now we are all familiar with Grandma's charade of basic instinct. Shall we turn the TV back on?
Why is your nose so red, Rudolph? Because I'm an alcoholic.
You'd have thought the retail sector would have found some way to monetize this festival.
Baby Jack, we didn't know whether to get you a toy or a pet, so we've compromised and bought you a rattlesnake.
Hey, great! New socks! I'm off for a wank.
I remember when I stopped believing in Father Christmas. The year he abused me.
Mum! I was hiding in a sock and Andy did something weird.
Daddy, I ripped up one of my presents too quickly, and it was a puppy.
I discovered last night that your father has been having an affair. One of the chipolatas might taste a little bit strange.
Last night, Santa emptied his sack in our room. Which is why I'm leaving your mother.
This Christmas, I've decided to keep my Christmas broadcast short and sweet. Piss off.
Things you'd never hear a French person say.
Of course, it looked hopeless, but we kept fighting.
I'd like a bottle of Burgundy and a Dairy Lee Dunker, please.
You're English. How nice to meet you.
J'aime beaucoup, Monsieur Jeremy Clarkson.
I've just bought a wonderful little holiday home in the south of Birmingham.
My favourite road? Well, that's got to be the A303. At night, in many ways, it's quicker than the M4 and you get to go past Stonehenge. If you're going London to the West Country, it's A303 for me every time. What a road. What a road.
And we throw that part of the animal away.
Our next round is called This Is the Answer. What is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Nathan, which category would you like?
Home news, please.
OK, your category is home news. The answer is trains, toilets and celebrities. What is the question?
Is it, if you're going to make a sex tape on public transport, what 3 things do you need?
What 3 flavours come through when you're tasting English wine?
Is it, according to the coalition agreement, what 3 things do the Lib Dems have responsibility for?
Is it name 3 things I've left my umbrella in?
Is it 3 things you're probably best off not to lick clean?
Is it, what is the name of Thomas the Tank Engine's no-holds-barred autobiography?
Is it what Peter Andre says when he's asked what his daily routine is?
Our trains, our toilets and our celebrities.
Is it what... Is it what...
High-pitched but not Australian anymore.
Our trains, our toilets, our celebrities.
I went to a voice coach to get rid of my Australian accent and I can't help thinking she's done something wrong.
I've been over in this country for a while, so I sometimes slip into both fucking accents. I get it! I don't lift my jeans up! And then obviously the celebrities are making the money for the kids!
Does anyone have another answer?
What do we do better than Morocco?
OK, can we have correct answer?
I think I've got it.
Oh, it's not the build-up to the correct answer, but go on.
Is it name 3 things I've puked up on at the Edinburgh Festival?
I know the answer, Dara. I'll give you the real answer, Dara.
Will you give me the real answer?
What are the 3 main talking points on a saga holiday?
Is it?
Is it 3 things that are full of shit?
On the Peter Andre thing. Where it makes the money for the children. That was the thing on me.
Is it?
No.
What 3 things were most complained about at the Queen's Jubilee?
If you can do that in a proper voice.
OK. What 3 things were most complained What 3 things were most complained about at the Queen's Jubilee?
Very good. Thank you very much, Chris. That's very good.
Just time now to see what the papers say.
Milton, which category would you like?
Let's have politics.
OK, politics it is. Your category is politics. The answer is over 1 million. What is the question?
Is it how many extra minutes Manchester United get to play if they're not winning?
Look at my big shiny face. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the way my forehead glow follows you around the room.
What you have to remember is that Cameron was in PR. I mean, I was 12 years old when I had a paper round. Apparently, the rumour is that David Cameron wants to make all towns in Britain triple-barrelled, like Kingston-upon-Thames, Berwick-on-Tweed. He wants to call it Leeds-on-Benefit. Well, his eyes are shinier and his hair's sleeker, but it's not necessarily an airbrush. It could be he's eating pedigree chum.
His coat is more glossy. Yeah. Essential minerals are good. So you should see him running through a field and over a wall. It's incredible, man. He's youthful and dynamic.
From the makers of Kaka 1. Kaka 2. What did his friends call Nostradamus? Now, our next guest, believe it or not, is both a poo and a lice inspector. Sorry, police inspector. Troy, certificate 15. If you're too young, why don't you make a giant wooden adult? But we've all been drunk at work, haven't we? I remember when I worked on an oil rig in the Mexican Gulf.
Unlikely things to hear in a science programme.
1643. The cold air balloon is invented. But it doesn't really take off.
Milton, let's see what subject. Let's spin the wheel. The subject is family.
One of my earliest memories is seeing my mother's face through the oven window. As we played hide and seek, and she said, "You're getting warmer." My auntie Jean got a sister called Jean. Her daughter Jean just had a baby, called it Jean. They all went to a nightclub to celebrate. They got to the door and the bouncer said, "Sorry." You're all wearing trainers. My grandfather, Jean, Always complaining about how much things cost.
£1.50 for a cup of tea, £2.25 for 3 custard creams.
I said, look, Grandad, you just popped round. I didn't invite you. My other grandfather, he was always going on about how in the old days people could leave their back doors open, which is probably why his submarine sank. My other grandfather... When he died, we didn't even get the chance to say goodbye, which was all the more poignant because he drowned in a bowl of Cheerios. I used to own a Toyota years ago, and I remember once I was driving along eating a marshmallow, and all of a sudden my airbag deployed. And in that moment, I thought I'd become really, really small.
Carlsberg. Don't do liver transplants. But if they did...
You can tell that Beckham thinks something is wrong, because if you look at the picture, he's going,
Aye.
There's an A coming out of his mouth.
Aye.
This game involves Milton, Andy and Diane, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. Without kicking the shit out of the set.
Oh, there you go.
Fuck off the face.
Well, that's a minute of the DVD sorted out.
Hey, that moment seemed a bit too hot for TV, yeah.
So, talk me through it again, Mrs. Hopkins. You were having Sunday dinner. You said to your husband, will you carve? And he just lay down on the floor and gave birth to a baby cow. A word about registers. Most of the staff are on one. Is it the gap between this word... No, it's not. Doing it. Dear Deirdre, I am a control freak. What should I do? I'll tell you what I should do.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Fox scandal rocks Conservatives. This is the news that Defence Secretary Liam Fox has been forced to explain his conduct following allegations that his working relationship with best friend and former flatmate Adam Werrity broke the ministerial code.
Wouldn't it be great if all of this had come to light because someone would be going through Fox's bins? All he's done is take a friend to work, and that's not actually a crime, is it, Mr. Truffles? What's that? Do you want to say hello to the boys and girls? No, I'm depressed.
Do you know why...
I met my wife on the net. We were both rubbish trapeze artists. Terrible, isn't it, when someone doesn't want to live with you anymore? Part of you is thinking, I don't think you're going to survive in the real world. Another part of you is thinking, well, at least I'll be rid of your drunken arguing. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to let the Scottish people go. Any Scottish people here? You can go. A girl came up to me the other day, started going, foot loose, then her foot fell off. I tried to impress a girl once by putting my foot down on the pedal. Turns out she'd seen a bin open like that before. A girl came up to me once, she said, you know, I can tell someone's personality by what kind of car they drive. I said, I haven't got one. So, lads, do you ever get given a job to do and you deliberately do it really, really badly so you never get given that job again? I mean, I hardly know CPR anyway. My wife's giving me the silent treatment at the moment, lying there day after day, beginning to smell a bit now. What Cameron should do is get a great big black hat and the sleep mask he got on the plane, and he stand up in front of the G20 and said, "I will lead you out of economic austerity, for I am borrow." When I found out my bank were fixing the loan rate, I went down there every single day and shouted at them, but then I consolidated all my anger into one monthly outburst.
Things you wouldn't hear on a political discussion show.
Sorry, did I interrupt you? Is it if you saw Pythagoras in concert, name one of the old numbers he might try and do?
Transport is the topic.
So I've got my own private jet. The rest of the jacuzzi belongs to my mum. If you've got a sat-nav, don't put the name of the company you're visiting into it. I tried to take some mayonnaise back the other day. I ended up in Helmand Province. I mean, I've got a car, but there's nothing I like better than making a bonfire on the passenger seat. Driving up and down, opening and shutting the electric sunroof and pretending to be a steam train. My uncle, he was a taxi driver, but then one day he left home without any indication. So recently, I was fell walking in the Lake District. Well, it's not quite true. Recently, I fell walking in the Lake District. I was going to tell someone, but the pillar box was full of sugar puffs. The worst job I ever had was forensic pathologist for the United Nations. And I remember uncovering the mass grave of 1,000 snowmen. Fortunately, it turned out to be a field full of carrots.
What's great about it? But it's like Milton every so often. It's like this hilarious granddad that just wakes up.
Health officials have shut down the village fete. Apparently, there was an outbreak of tombola. Now it's over to our toys and games correspondent, Natasha Kaplunksky.
Other news, what has Prince Charles said is the largest challenge facing the world today?
Is it narrow doorways and you get your ears caught? Look, an ancient African city from the makers of Timbuk 1. How about giving 3-year-olds the vote and still having one ballot box, but 4 different shapes that they have to put through? It looks like a runner bean, only smaller. From the makers of Mange 1. What I didn't understand about the Scottish election thing was, if the Scottish didn't want to be part of Great Britain, where were they going to live? I think people quite like Nigel Farage, because he's a bit of a colourful character, which is ironic.
And the topic is family.
My uncle, he was a cruel man. He knew we lived in a bungalow, yet every year for Christmas we always got a slinky. It's a miracle my sister's getting married. I went to the printers to get the invites, and he said, well, what typeface? I went... She seems to like him. My grandfather, during the war, he broke the Enigma code machine. Then he went AWOL. Well, it's not quite true. Then he became an owl. My grandmother, she's been talking about downsizing, and now she's in a little urn. My other grandmother, she was a children's writer. You may have seen her book, Jack Goes Strawberry. I haven't always been popular with my family as a vegan. That doesn't normally work. Recently, my family all clubbed together and got me a voucher for a clinic in Switzerland. Thank you. It's not nice, though, to have another culture imposed on you at school. I remember when I was rushed to hospital with 80% Chinese burns. Welsh are getting stroppy, actually. I was in Cardiff in Waterstones recently. I asked for Pride and Prejudice, and the bloke said, "I'm proud to be Welsh and I hate the English."
I'm driving you mad. The question was, what state was the Thames whale said to be in? Sorry, I'll do that again, because I keep saying Thames because I'm Irish.
I think that was absolutely fine, Dara. I wouldn't worry about doing that again. That bit.
OK, well, we'll move on. It is, just to check, sorry, it is... It's
Thames. That's
Thames.
right, Thames.
It's Thames.
It's the River Thames.
OK, all right. What state was the famous the Thames whale said to be in when it arrived in London? Yeah. OK, yeah, I will do it properly, all right? The question is, what state was the Thames...
You've hit the Thames barrier, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, yeah. The question is, what state was the Thames whale said to be in when it arrived in London? I'm sorry. Come with this. Let's do it again. Does anyone know just the amount of shouting there is in my earpiece going, could we please move on? Could we? Is there any chance we could not do the entire recording about how Goring killed himself by first extracting a cyanide tablet from his own feces? Is there any chance, Dara, you could take some control over the show so it's broadcastable at some stage? Could you? They're even shouting at this bit. Stop doing the bit where you mock us for shouting in their ear. OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is work.
I nearly lost my job as a roofer when I was caught masturbating on the first day. Yeah, luckily, my boss said I could wipe the slate clean. I used to work at Waterstones. One day, a guy came in asking if we had any audiobooks with subtitles. I thought, hang on, that's a book. The circus near me held a competition to find the best contortionist, so I entered myself and won. In my old job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to work in panto. I've got two lawyers working for me at the minute. One's pro bono, and the other thinks he's a right pretentious twat. When my granddad was caught trying to stow away in the Merchant Navy, he offered to work his passage, which, as you can imagine, made him very popular. I hate people who phone me up just to complain about the weather, which is why I lost my job at Mountain Rescue. I was at a station the other day that had a piano on the platform, so I had a little tinkle on it, which saved me 30 pence. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. I bought a Microsoft Advent calendar. If you open too many windows at once, they all shut again for no bloody reason. Thank you.
Well done. Very good. In other news, who is a big hit with Japanese women?
Japanese men.
No, actually, surprisingly.
Is it the gorilla that's really fit?
There's a gorilla. Yes, it is. There's a fit gorilla. There's a gorilla who moved from Australia to Japan in 2007 and has attracted a lot of admirers among young Japanese women who describe him as too handsome. He's referred to as an ikemen, which is slang for handsome guy. I've got a slightly creepy story, but let's see, his name's Shabani. I mean, all you need is like a slogan that goes, "Which one of us is really in a cage?" Yeah, no, this is another one of them looking... You know? I mean, this is a good-looking gorilla, you know? I dare you to swipe left, write that underneath, and then you're... There's another one of them here, look.
He's got some junk in his trunk.
It's not necessarily sexually attractive, but it would be nice to be held by him.
Like, if I had to have sex with an animal, I'd have a flamingo. I'm a leg man.
Yeah. You particularly like when one leg is like up underneath the...
Yeah, it's a bit saucy, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like,
oh,
come and see what my other leg is.
Put one leg up.
I know where your leg is, don't you worry about that. Marshy.
Yeah. Wet. You ain't got one leg, you slag.
Can I just say we're totally objectifying this gorilla, and I'm loving it.
It's like he's about to go, yes, Sigourney Weaver was wonderful to work with. Yeah.
Part of my craft is I'm the weaver of stories, I'm the teller of tales. Kim and Paul's got to Rob, Tiff and Andy! This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched the Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. The first subject is... festivals. Who wants to come in on that? Kevin.
Festivals. Nice picture there. That's actually me on your left. So, I was at a Christian rock festival. I never really meant to be there. I was just passing through this Christian rock festival and there was a stall set up that said a free toastie for all of God's children. So I thought, shame on. I said, how's it going, mate? Can I have a toastie? And the guy said, are you a Christian? And I thought, well, if I'm not a Christian, am I not getting a toastie? That's not very Christian. And with this, the guy crumbled. And stood back to reveal a chalkboard and he said, OK, you can have cheese or cheese and ham. And I thought, I'll just cheese, mate, because I'm a Jew.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is family. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
So, it wasn't easy growing up trying to be a little liberal kid in the most right-wing family in the whole of my town. My dad was the most right-wing person I knew, but always quick to point out, I'm not racist, but... That was the danger word. I'm not racist, but... Or the latest remix, which is even more innocuous and dangerous, all I want to do is have a sensible discussion about immigration. Yeah? Isn't it? Well, no one with that face wants a sensible discussion about anything. I just want to have a sensible little chat in the back of that transit van over there, yeah? Me and my brothers, the rest of your family, Mr. Woolham-along, whatever your bloody name is, mate, yeah? Get in the van, right? My dad even managed to be prejudiced about my first car decision. How do you even achieve that? By British or German. Do not bring Crappanese onto my driveway, boy. Not only that, but I chose a hybrid car. Part electric, part petrol, papa, right? Another question mark hanging over my sexuality. It's the noise of it when it drove off. Thanks for Sunday lunch. Bye, Daddy. Thank you.
Well done. Good mark. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs.
I used to work at a Christian rock festival selling toasties. best day was when I sold this Jewish bloke some yellow ham. My dad was a dustman. I didn't like him coming to collect us from school, though. Not because I was ashamed he was a dustman, it's just you never knew which day he was going to come. The rest of my family were police marksmen. Apart from my grandfather, he was a bank robber. He died quite recently, surrounded by his family. My uncle, he's a police frogman. No, sorry, he's a French policeman. I used to work in a supermarket. It was my job to hand out samples of things for people to taste. But I was asked to leave after the little cups of bleach incident. After that, I worked in a pathology lab, but I was asked to leave after one of my reports said cause of death, autopsy.